Playing with the boy. Playing with young boys. And that, of course, is a Kenny Loggins Playing with the Boys beautiful version. So we don't constantly get demonetized in this unbelievable sports program, possibly the greatest sports program. Well, definitely the greatest sports program anywhere close to this sphere of podcasting, and possibly the only one on the planet hosted by a lacrosse All-American. It's really unbelievable what's happening out here. The boys are back. The end of summer hiatus is over. I'm with my co-host Jethro here. There he is. Unbelievable what's happening out here. I actually stopped the rock music on this episode, so I won't play for an hour and 20 minutes without my two dolt co-hosts not telling me. How's this sideways? Here we go. If you could see my setup right now, folks, you'd be amazed about what's happening out here. I can't even begin to tell you. It's a frying pan on top of a dick on top of my dad's ass. But anywho, it's Sports Mass Collective, episode 86, just like 1986, and we have a lot of football to get to. I have some WNBA, if you can believe it or not, to get to. We're going to get to the football. We're going to get to WNBA, but we have to start in lieu of the 86 episode. In lieu of 1986, we're going to start with your New York Metropolitans. Yours and mine, folks. And if it's not yours, it's mine. Listen, if you're a longtime listener, viewer, watcher, whatever of this show, you already know where I'm going. Hashtag Stanselstradamus. The New York Mets. The New York Mets. The New York Mets. In the last week of the season, I called it over a month ago, I think. This is where I wish I had a producer because of all the things I've said that are right, just like Bryce Young, but we'll get to that. Before they even drafted him, I called it totally unbelievable, among a billion other things I've called. But I called the New York Mets halfway, I think about 2 months ago now, about what would happen. And I told you I didn't want it to happen. But unfortunately, it looks like it's happening. What did I tell you? Remember, folks, you could probably say it with me. They're going to play the Braves the last week of the season. Now, I said they would win 2 out of 3 or even sweep, and then fall to the Brewers the last weekend of the year coming up, Friday through Sunday. It was supposed to be the last week of the year, and they would either not make the playoffs or make the last seed and get their dicks blown out. Now what's happened with Hurricane Ballbag or whatever it's called rolling up into the shithole that is Florida and surrounding areas is, if you missed it, folks, the Mets lost a classic Mets loss to the Braves late in September, as they've done since my whole life, on Tuesday. And the games yesterday and today have been postponed. So they are scheduled, the Mets are scheduled to play a doubleheader on Monday, which technically the season is over Sunday. They're playing, making up these games on Monday, which will be a doubleheader. So you can move around the pieces a bit, but essentially what I said holds true. So they may sweep the Brewers this weekend. They may win 2 out of 3. Obviously it depends what these other Diamondbacks and the Braves do as well. That's all that needs to worry about now. And be in position, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to see it, and I'll be rooting my balls off for the Monday at probably the best bar in America. I might even be down in the city, but I will definitely be watching the games on Monday and drinking quite heavily. Join me. It's all setting up to lose that doubleheader to the Braves on Monday and either probably not make the playoffs or get in as that 3 seed for that terrible play-in game. So that's really all I can say. I mean, I already said it. I called it, and now it's happening, and it's happening in one of the most heartbreaking. It's shaping up to be one of the more heartbreaking ways the Mets have missed the playoffs with this doubleheader with the Braves on Monday. Can't you see it now, folks? The Diamondbacks take care of business this week. They end up even with the Mets and Braves. The Mets are one game up of the Braves going into Monday and lose both games. Can't you just see it now? Anybody who's been a lifelong Mets fan knows exactly that's the writing on the wall. Can we change history? Can we rewrite the written? Can this team that's turned into a fun team the second half of this season, can they pull through? Can they change what was already written? Because it is anybody who's a Mets fan knows it's written what I just said, that they're going to get swept by the Braves on Monday. You know it in your heart. Your heart is telling you that. So can this team break the mold? That's going to be the question come Monday. Can these New York Mets break the mold of every September that matters, losing to the Braves in Atlanta coming down the stretch? Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. So big day on Monday for me and my fellow Mets fan, barring the impossible. I mean, if the Mets get swept and these other teams sweep their series this weekend, they won't be in good shape to begin with. But for better word, listen, it's going to be great entertainment. If you're not a Mets fan, it's going to be great entertainment Monday, because I think that definitely the seeding, if not either team making the playoffs in total, is going to be decided Monday afternoon. I believe is it a 4 and a 7 or a 1 and a 4? I don't give a fuck, frankly, about time. I don't even wear a watch. Unbelievable. Now, you know what else was unbelievable is me and Aunt Mead and the great Julio attended the last Mets regular season game on Sunday night, national televised broadcast. And what a game it was. We had a slew of other characters joining us as well. But again, we leave our house. We are on the spot. Any of the big, I'm the Forrest Gump of New York Mets baseball. Any big game, you name it, I've been there. When they clinched the division for the first time in forever in 2015, when Agbayani hit that home run in the 10th inning to beat the Giants right over Barry Bonds' head, I was there. John Rocker's first game at Shea Stadium after his comments, I was there. David Wright's first game as a Met, I was there. I mean, I can keep going and going. The point is, just know you're listening to the soothsayer of sports, Jim Stansel. I'm actually leaving my house. I'm in the streets, deep, very deep in the sports streets, folks. So no need to go anywhere else with all these false idols. And I've done it on the field, frankly, on and off the field. I mean, I was an all-star third baseman back in my day. I mean, you'll never forget the story of 13-year-old fall ball championship game. I doubled in the tying run, stole third, and then scored the winning run on a sac fly to win the championship. I was literally put on my teammates' shoulders. That's fall ball. I still have the trophy somewhere in storage. Hashtag glory days. But it's really, you got to know who's talking to you. You see these fat slobs over at Barstool who probably haven't played or certainly haven't achieved a goddamn thing in sports in their entire lives. And their job is they make double figures talking about sports is just embarrassing. And by the way, just a quick aside, I have ADHD. This is the show. If you haven't figured that out by now, then go watch one of these other boring fucking shows that just parrot everything everybody else says. I actually tell the truth because I don't give a fuck. Did you guys see the Boom or Doom guys are joining Barstool or have some kind of affiliation with Barstool? He hinted they're making some kind of announcement Monday. There you go, folks. The world is over. Boom or Doom, the Costco guys are having an affiliation with Barstool. You heard it here first, unless you saw what I saw on the internet. Anyway, a great game Sunday night at Citi Field. Trained in, pre-gamed. And may or may not have been doing nose clams out of peanuts. And what you do, if you haven't tried it, folks, it's a great way at baseball games. If you enjoy a little nose clam, if you have good, clean fun, you don't get too deep in it, you get a bag of salted peanuts, of course, and you break them open, eat the peanuts inside. Great protein there, folks. And what you do is you dab a little of the nose clam candy into the empty peanut shell, and you use that shell. And it's amazing. I couldn't stop laughing. Hilarious. And a nice little workaround to not blatantly do. But you do it right in your seat. Do it right in your seat that way. There's a little free tip for everybody out there. packed house. We got those tickets a while ago. I always used to go to the last home game of the season for the old Mets. I haven't in the last couple of years because they've been so embarrassing, but it ended up being a packed house, usual seats. I told Brandon Marsh, his sister is a loser for 8 innings, and he took himself out of the game. You could ask me. This is all fact. So wonderful time had by all, and we'll see. It's all going to come down to Monday, barring something crazy. The Mets season's going to boil down to 2 games in Atlanta on Monday, which is nails on a chalkboard to a Mets fan's ear, if you know the history of the Mets in Atlanta in September. Now, folks, patreon.com Ski Mask Media. We're going to be talking about this a lot more. Well, not really. That sounds ridiculous. But if you want to support us, God bless super chats and all that. But $3, patreon.com, $3 once a month. Let's grow that. That's guaranteed money. YouTube doesn't get a cut. And not only that, I'm just saying it as a way to support us. You guys, actually, we put content up there. It's not like we don't put anything up there. So if you're not a super chatter, if you think super chats are gay, just join the Patreon. $3 a month. You support people with real lives, real jobs who actually do this for fun instead of sitting in their house and their only hope is to drain all you fine people out of every last dollar. We don't do that here. We do real shows. You won't see a clip on this network. You won't see a stream snipe on this network. You'll barely see guests on this network. We have real talent here, starting with me, one of the most talented motherfuckers in this whole fucking. I mean, I totally embarrass comics to do this as a living on a week-to-week basis with this podcast. It's truly unbelievable. But that's what happens when you're the real deal and you've been doing this your whole life, and it's not an act. It's just who you are. And that's why I don't need to put a puppet on my hand or an orange on my head or watch stream snipes 6 days a week, 4 hours. Quality over quantity here. A sports mask a week, a ski mask collective a week, boiled down to the good shit, not 6 days a week of 3-hour shows of the same fucking. Aren't you tired of it, folks? I am. I don't watch it anymore. And that's what we do here. And then everything else extra will be on the Patreon. $3 a month. Go over there. Blah, 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 blah. That's the end. Instead of doing a 3-hour show where all I do is beg you for money, that's the end of it. So let's move on. Let's get back to sports. Oh, my God. Okay. I need to spend a minute on WNBA and Caitlin Clark here and ESPN, frankly, too. Caitlin, I did it. I tuned in to the WNBA last night and I watched the 4th quarter of the Indiana Fever, starring Caitlin Clark and the Connecticut Suns, my own state. So I'm the pudding that is the proof. I'm the guy. I don't have any interest in WNBA, but what Caitlin Clark is doing or has done is absolutely unbelievable. You look at the record she broke this year. And the other thing I didn't realize till last night, I have to give the announcers credit for bringing it up. I didn't even think of it. She's been playing since she's been playing for 1 year straight. She played her season at Iowa, got drafted. A WNBA season starts immediately, and she went right back on the court. So Caitlin Clark has been on a court putting up these records for a year straight, literally, since last October when her last college season started. Yes, she's been playing and still putting up these numbers and still dealing, handling any adversity well. Credit where credit is due. And I'll say this, for all the hype she got, and I've seen the highlights, and I watched her last night, and I watched it live a couple times. For all the hype she got, she's better. She's a godsend to the WNBA, and it is an absolute travesty and an absolute shame what the WNBA and what the mainstream media, especially ESPN, has done to her. Not covering, not only not covering, the obvious. Let's be honest, what's obviously going on. The white girl taking over a predominantly black sport. Let's call it for what it is. Literally took over. There's no discussion obviously there's no discussion of the rookie of the year is. There's no discussion of the MVP of the season is. Literally, I hate to be a gay WNBA sympathizer, but go pull up a sheet. You can go. I don't do it because this is not that kind of show where real people, we don't have producers. But pull it up right now. Google Caitlin Clark WNBA records 2024. It's unbelievable. So as much hype as she's got, it's not enough. And then, here's what really set me off. I was at the gym this morning. Obviously, you fucking hacks. You fucking posers. But anyway, I was at the gym, obviously, this morning again. Because I'm a real man. I'm an actual alpha. I don't just talk about stuff. I do stuff, and I don't tell anybody about it. I just become better than everyone else, which I've been doing forever. It's why I'm in the position I am in, and many are big losers. But obviously, everyone who watches this show are also fellow alphas. Wink. Sports. So I'm at the gym, and I'm watching my worst room. I'm doing the cardio. I'm doing the Stairmaster, and I'm watching the worst roommate ever on my little phone here. And I always keep ESPN or sports on the TV in the back, just on mute, obviously, see what's going on. And I see the headline ESPN is running on First Take, with Stephen A. Smith and that hot Arab girl, Molly, and some other dumb cracker. The headline they're running is Alyssa Thomas, Suns forward, getting racist comments on social media. The night after the best WNBA player who's ever put a WNBA jersey on gets eliminated, and they start their broadcast. They run their big story, which they spent over 5 minutes on, which is a long time. I think it was close to 10. Their main story is talking about how a forward is getting racist comments on Twitter. Do you guys not understand? Do we all see what's going on here now? And how they're totally trying to downplay Caitlin Clark because she's white. I'm sorry. And I didn't want to buy into it, but now there's like no mistaking it. Rather than talking about the unbelievable things this girl has done for the not only WNBA, but basketball in general, the record she set, they're talking about some fucking soft bitch, Alyssa Thomas, talking about how she got remarks on Twitter. First of all, get off Twitter if you can't handle it. That goes for everybody, by the way. There's a lot of pussies on Twitter. Like I dish it out with the best of them. I'm probably the best shit talker in the history of the universe. And there's so many people that revert to striking channels because they can't handle the heat and they don't have comebacks. You could do the math to know who I'm talking about. Because everything I've never blocked anyone. I've never reported a channel. I've never struck a channel. I've never done a single thing of that. So what happens is when you're somebody like me, who's an English major and has been a bully and been bullied since a young boy. So I've been in this shit in the trenches forever. And, some of these people pick up podcasting in the last 5, 10, 15 years. They don't have comebacks. So as we ferociously destroy these people in a social setting, in public, the only fallback they have is to be a pussy and report a channel. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, this podcasting and Twitter is not for everybody. So if you can't take the heat, stay the fuck out of the fucking kitchen, you fucking pussy. Stevie Lou. Anywho, faggot. Losers. God, Stevie Lou doesn't even have his own channel or his own show. He just suckabuses. He's just a leech on Kevin Brennan, trying to suck every dollar out of Kevin Brennan. But that's besides the point. So anyway, they cover this girl's tweets. Hey, how about this? This is, and I hate to sound like a white guy, although I'm basically black, as you all know, watch the show. I'm an urban boy. Don't bring it up. It's the same with all this divisive bullshit. Stop bringing up. Black Lives Matter. It was a divisive movement from the beginning. Palestine Jew stuff, all divisive. That's why it's all just to divide people. And then so ESPN covers this. It's just promoting it even more. If I cared enough, which I don't, I would double down and I would keep trolling her. If I saw that and saw that ESPN send headline, Alyssa Thomas responds to racial comments on Twitter, first thing I'm going to do as a professional troll is get on Twitter and keep banging her over the head. If you don't talk about stuff, it goes away, especially in today's day and age. But my point is it was just such an obvious, just a perfect microcosm of everything going on. You have this wonderful NBA player who the only reason anybody who watches the WNBA is because of her was just eliminated. And instead of singing her praises, talking about what she's done, they're running a story about some dumb bitch who can't handle Twitter comments. So rack me. Yeah. Thank you. What else? I tweeted about it, so I have to touch on it briefly. Golfing for guys. Now, listen, I'm in a position where I could speak on this. Just a few years ago, up until 2020, I was playing at least a round a week for years. 2020, when there was nothing else to do, we were playing 3 to 4 rounds a week. I kept the real handicapped. I got down to an 18 handicap. That's not the point. That's just my background. By the way, if you're in the chat, we'll get to. I haven't even looked at the chat. If you super chat it, it'll see if anybody's super chat. If you super chat something, I'll read it immediately. If you're a poor person, I'll get to it when I get to it. Nope, nobody's super chat, so I don't care. We'll get to it when I get to it. My point is, let's call a spade. I'm just tired. You know what? I don't like betas, and I don't like people, and I don't like fake shit. And the truth is, all you guys, not you guys, of course, because you're great people that watch your show. But could just be honest. Oh, here's the point. There's nothing wrong with it. Just be honest of why you play golf. And the reason I quit, I haven't swung a club since 2020 because I'm a competitor. I like to get better. And I kind of plateaued. And to get better, I knew I had to practice and play a ton. And it's just not, it's not, unless you have a very cushy job, it's very hard to get better at golf, frankly. And it's not about the money. It's about having the time because you got to get to the range, for an hour, at least once a week. You have to get. And again, I'm friends with golf pros at local club. At Stanwich, one of my buddies is a pro. My other buddy is a scratch golfer. So I'm not some hodunk in the woods who only knows hacks. I have friends who are good golfers and who help me. The only way to be good at golf and get better at golf is to play a ton and swing a ton. So you got to get to the range at least twice a week. That's an hour or two there. And you have to play at least once a week to get better. And that's 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours a day. So the problem I ran into as a competitor, and I kept getting better through the years, and I eventually plateaued. And I talked to my buddy. He was like, "Yeah, you're at the point where you got to either go all in or just be okay, kind of being a hack like everybody else." And I wasn't okay with that. And I haven't played around since. My point with all this is, guys, 90% of you play golf to get away from to get drunk. Let's call it what it is. You just want to party. And you don't keep real scores. And I played with all you. I was in it. I played with you, and there's nothing wrong with it. My point is, just own it. I'm just tired of seeing these guys that say they play golf. That say they play. You don't play golf. You go and drink. It's the same as saying like I don't even know if you go to a laser tag thing and say you're a laser tagger. Just because you go on the course and swing a club doesn't mean you're a golfer. You can like golf, but I'm just tired of people talking about golf like they know a goddamn thing. All these guys are shooting 190s. And by the way, those are all lies. I know there's that stat out there. Only 10% of people if you go by the actual rules of golf, has ever shot below 100, as far as touching your ball, the way you mark your ball, all that shit. You can look up that. It's like a 10% of people, if you go by the actual PGA rules, have shot below 100. So it just, whenever I hear anybody say they shot a 95, they shot a 88, unless I'm good friends with them and can tell them, no, they didn't, 90% of people just, oh, okay, yeah. But in my head, I know you didn't. I know you didn't. I played with you guys. I've seen how you hacks play. I don't know where I'm really going with this, but that's the show. My point is golf is kind of a beta thing. If you're not taking golf seriously, it's kind of gay. That's me as an alpha, as a competitor, as someone who's achieved athletically. Listen, it's fun to have a one-off round here and there, I guess, but I don't find the booze rounds to be enjoyable as a competitor. It's just say you're playing golf and go to a bar. That's what most people who play golf. Most guys, 95% of guys who play golf, just save your money. Stop acting like you give a shit about golf. You just want to wear the outfit you got on fucking, at Golfsmith. Just go to a bar for 4 hours and tell your wife you played golf. Okay? Just get off the course. That's it. Good. Now, are we on the same page? Great. Da 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 da. Doo 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 doo. All right, all right. I got that off my chest. Let's get to the football, but we're not going to get to the NFL first. We're at the new. This is a new. Well, it's not new. We've done it the last two shows, but this is a new-ish segment where I read the college football scores from last week to prove how dumb college is. And how much of an inferior product it is to the real product. It's the farm league to the real deal. What's the dumbest song on here? Is it this? No. Is it this? No, it's too sexy. Is it this? It's kind of a dumb song. I'm trying to find a dumb song to match the dumb scores of college football. No. I'll stick with this. What's this? All right. Anyway, let's take a look at the college football scores from last week so we can see how fucking terrible this fucking league is. Anybody who tries to get you interested in college football is an alcoholic. Unless in the very small chance they went to one of these major universities, there's zero reason to give a shit about college football unless you're an alcoholic or you are a degenerate gambler. So let's take a look at some of these scores. And remind you, in week 3, they start putting some actual matchups on. And I haven't looked at these at all, by the way. I'm doing this live, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Illinois, Central Michigan, Illinois 30, Central Michigan 9, Oklahoma State 45, Tulsa 10, Alabama 42, Wisconsin 10, Miami 62, Ball State 0, Oregon 49, Oregon State 14, Notre Dame 66, Purdue 7. God, is it fun when you're right or is it fun when you're right? Boy, does college football fucking suck aside from 2 to 3 games a week. Stansos, I am a genius. Ole Miss 40, Wake Forest 6, Texas 56, UTSA 7. Why do they even play these games? It's so fucking dumb. Oh my God, Tennessee 71, Kent State 0. You watch this garbage? Oh my God. I guess this isn't even that bad. BYU 34, Wyoming 14. That's kind of annoying. Oh no, that was the week before. Wait, this is week 4. I'm sorry. It does not any better. Ohio State 49, Marshall 14. Oh, talk about no defense, too. That's the other shitty thing about college. No defense is played. Clemson, 59. NC State, 35. Iowa State, 52. AR State, 7. God, college football blows. Notre Dame, 28. Miami, Ohio, 3. Penn State, 56. Kent State, 0. Right in your fat fucking face, Chad. Miami, Florida 50, South Florida 15. Terrible. God, does college football fucking blow. Imagine caring about this. Ole Miss 52, Georgia Southern 13, Texas 51, LA Monroe, Louisiana 3, Boise State 56, Portland State 14, BYU 38, Kansas State 9. And that is your weekly trip around college football. And once again, I've proven that college football fucking blows. Like I said, there's 3 or 4 games a week that are close, and the rest are pointless. Yeah. And I think most of you agree with me. But if anybody ever tries it, I have friends that try to tell me college. Now, listen, college basketball, I'll have an argument with you. I actually kind of agree college basketball is more entertaining than NBA nowadays. But college football, it's the same game, just with terrible, terrible players. And that leads me, actually, I'm a professional. Let's get into the big boy leagues where the games are actually good and there's actual parity where you don't know who's going to win any week. That leads me to my point. I said it, I think I've said it every week this season. I'm going to keep saying it because I can't stop being right. I called it before they drafted him. I told you Bryce Young was going to stink in the league, and he has. I told you they should have drafted, what's his name? Was it Anthony Richardson? Before him. Where is it? I had a couple little notes here. Oh, no, they passed on CJ Stroud to get Bryce Young. And I called it before. Now, I didn't play college football. I don't know analytics, but I have eyeballs and I have a brain. And I know if you're a quarterback at USC, you have some of the best complementary players, wide receivers, running backs, linemen in the country. So obviously, they're going to make any quarterback look better than they are. Bryce Young is short. He's low IQ. I could tell that by watching the few games I watched him in college. So how did I, an armchair all-American, but armchair person nonetheless, how did I know that and these major schools don't know that? That's what's sad and scary. I guess I just have such a high IQ. I transcend. I don't know. But yeah, Bryce Young now looking like he's benched for the year. Meanwhile, CJ Stroud is tearing up the earth again. And Bryce Young is benched for the year. And there's even rumblings about trading him. That's how bad he is. Go ahead. Jethro's trying to go under the wire, and he's nervous about it. Go ahead, Jeth. You can do it. You want to go over? He's nuts. Yeah, so Santos Radames, what else is new? Let's see. All poor chats. All right. Nothing to be read then. I'll get to the poor chats at the end. Real show. No snipes. No clips. No begging. This is a real. One of the last real shows out there. You guys want me to put a fucking sock on my hand and do a dumb voice? You fucking loser hacks. Whatever happened to that guy? Are they still doing stuff? God, nobody I know cares about any of those shows anymore. We certainly don't cover them here. Anywho, let's go around the league real quick. Then we'll get to the picks. Then we'll touch our dicks, folks. Steelers, interesting what's going on in Pittsburgh. I also call that. Mike Tomlin is a great coach. I like that they have a young quarterback, an old quarterback. And Fields is playing well. And Russell healthy again. I don't see how if you're Tomlin, you can bench Fields at this point. Of all coaches, Tomlin's probably the best at handling it. But Russell Wilson, at his age, is not going to want to be sitting on a bench. And the Steelers look good. They have a great defense. Now, I don't think they have the offense. And I don't truly believe in Fields to carry them into, postseason hopes. But I think they're going to, at this point, I think they're going to win some games. I think at this point, start Justin Fields and trade Russell Wilson. That brings me to left points. Miami Dolphins. Tua is done. He's a retarded man. Yeah, he's now retarded. Tua is done. Two quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo to Miami. You heard it here first. And keep that in mind when Stanislaus Stradamus comes through once again. But if I'm Miami, and if I'm that nerdy coach who Soder is friends with, that's who I'm looking at. If you want any hopes of saving this season, Jimmy G or Russell Wilson trade over there to Miami. That's the route I would go. Stanislaus Stradamus. The Jags 0-3 and not looking good. Now they've been a bit beat up by injuries. But anybody questioning Lawrence hasn't watched him enough. I think what happened is Trevor Lawrence played through his injuries last season. And I think he picked up some bad habits. I think he's essentially in a slump. By no means, listen, they're 0-3. When you go to 0-3, it's tough to come back from that. I think the Jags can do it. Do I think they will? I see that maybe a wild card, maybe a 9-8 deal. Does that math add up? Yeah, maybe a 9-8 deal. You never know on the year. Maybe even an 8-9 some years can get you in the dance, especially with the expanded playoffs now. But Trevor Lawrence, I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think he just picked up bad habits with that injury. Rack me. Bills. 3-0. Everybody's back to riding their fat cocks. Let me take a look here real quick. Da, 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 pure imagination. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so the Bills beat the Cardinals by less than a touchdown, by the way. Then they beat the Dolphins. They knocked two out halfway through that game. And then they beat the Jags, who were in a huge slump, playing terribly. So I haven't seen much. I have not seen enough at all from who the Bills have played that I believe in them in any kind of grandiose way. So we will find out Sunday night when they play the Ravens. That's going to be the litmus test here. Sunday night, great game. Let's see what the Bills are actually made out of instead of playing 3 pushovers as they have to get to 3-0. And then circle it on your calendar, folks, in a couple weeks. Jets, Bills, Monday night. That is the hottest ticket in town. That's what we're going to want. That's what all roads are leading to. Jets, Bills, Monday night in a few weeks. Circle that one on your wife's calendar and then push her down a flight of stairs. Vikings move to 3-0. Sam Darnold, has he found his spot in his latter years? Can he fulfill a Jim Plunkett type career and come back, play the back nine on the top and have an amazing career? I wouldn't go that far, but I will say I think Sam Darnold's always been a game manager, solid but not good, similar to Brock Purdy. I'll die on that hill. I said it all year last year, and I'll die on it. A game manager. But when you have players like Justin Jefferson, when you have a decent O-line, and you got Hawkinson coming back in a few weeks, you have the running back there playing well. Yeah, good things can happen. So is this smoke and mirrors? No. Do I foresee I don't think the Vikings are going to be a powerhouse by any means. I don't see them getting 12 or 13 wins. I can see them getting 10 wins at this point at 3-0. And maybe Sam Darnold finally, I mean, the Jets, not that he was a wonderful quarterback, but the Jets, once again, another quarterback, the Jets decimated that poor kid's career with who they put around him. So I don't hate Darnold like I hate, Zach Wilson. We wish him well, as they say in this podcasting world. But he has 8 touchdowns and 2 picks through the first 3 games. So game manager, those are game manager numbers there. And you get that ball to Justin Jefferson a couple times a game on a deep out. And that's how you get to 3-0. So interesting to see and this is why the NFL is so much better than college. It's just every week there's parity. Tonight, folks, and then we'll get to the picks for week 4. We have the Giants and the Cowboys. Here's what you're looking for in this game. Here's the thing of this game. One of these, forget about both teams are 1-2. Forget about going to 2-2. Not as big of a deal. The Cowboys will think they stabilize. The Giants will think they have something going. What we want to pay attention to here is the loser. And specifically the Cowboys. I mean, Giants we weren't expecting much out of the Giants this year. So Giants go to 1-3. It's just to kind of brush your hands. All right, here we go. Let's play out this string, win a few, see if we can get 7 or 8 wins and sneak in and get a draft pick. The Dallas America's team Cowboys go to 1-3. And the sky will be falling. They're already semi-calling for Jerry Jones's head. We know I grew up with it. All the front-running fans all over the country who chose the Dolphins or 49ers as their team, in the 90s and stuck with it. I mean, I don't. I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I'm rooting for the Giants just because I want to see the fallout from the Cowboys going to 1-3 after they gave Dak his money and everything else that's going on there. So that's the storyline to pay attention to tonight. Can the Cowboys stabilize here, or are they going to go to 1-3 and enter a world of shit? And Jerry Jones doesn't shut his fat fucking southern mouth, so he's going to have a lot to say, and it's going to get interesting if the Cowboys fall to the Giants. Not only go to 1-3, but if they get beat by the Giants, they're in big trouble. All right. I'm a man of the people. Let's see what you poor pieces of shit say. Reminder, forget about, God bless you if you super chat. We'd rather join the Patreon for $3 once a month, $3, and you actually get stuff, but it's more so just support the boys. I'm in Vegas. Fags. Nice, Chris Mack. Send Courtney a link. No, I had too much to get to. I missed last week. We had our Labor Day end of summer hiatus. What am I already? Yeah, I'm already at 40 minutes. I haven't gotten to the picks yet. Yeah. No, not. We love Courtney and her fat tits and her ass. But no room for her on this program. We'll get people going forward. Steve's in the queue. Steve Conte's in the queue. Victor's always in the queue. I got some other people who want to come on. But you know me. I don't, and how we do on this network, quality over quantity. I don't need 5 windows on this fucking stream. We certainly aren't going to stream, snipe, or watch clips. We do real shows. We have real talent here, unlike all these other fucking hacks. Rack me. Oh, yes. NHL preseason started. Thanks, Chris Mack. It went to the night, and Chris Mack is a regular. That's why. Chris Mack, become a member or join the Patreon, you chief fuck. You watch the show every week. Help us out. We love you. Hughes Entertainment, because he complimented me. Look at the shoulders, look at the sofa, look at the dog. It's crazy what's happening out here. Beautiful leather couch, unbelievable. I call them boulders, not shoulders. You should have seen what I did to him yesterday. People were in awe, coming up to me at the gym, shaking my hand. Somebody asked for my autograph. But no, keep believing all the hacks. I live in a garage and I'm poor and blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, sure, run with that. Good for you. It actually works better for me. Sure. That's what I do. You people don't even know the fucking first thing about who to tell you. You know Jim Stanley. You don't know my real life, you fucking hacks. Because I'm unlike these other idiots. I don't say shit on the stream I don't want talked about, like my fucking ugly black wife. Anywho, blah, 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 blah. Let's fucking go, Mets. Absolutely. Listen, I told you what I think is going to happen. I don't want it to happen. Monday, everybody, Monday. What are you doing Monday? If anybody listening is in the city Monday, let's set up a watch party over at Offside Tavern. I'll even do a live stream, maybe. Maybe that's the move. That's the move, folks. Let's tentatively say Offside Tavern, my buddy's bar, where Gino and Steve and Garrett do their show on Thursdays. Set up a little watch party there. We can do a live. Reach out to me. I'm a man of the people. DM, everything is open. I'm not a pussy. Okay, this is let's see, this is a long one before we get to the picks for week 4. Woodrow 155 Stancil. It's my understanding Ski Mask is leaving to become a leatherneck again. Apparently he's turning the channel over to Brian McCarthy. You know, I'm in the Upper West Side nowadays. I think about Brian pretty often. I keep hoping I'm going to run into him. I still hold up hope. Is Brian going to pull a Gavin and drop most of the shows? Yeah, I'm in deep talks with Brian McCarthy. And, of course, I'm in talks with Brian McCarthy and Joe Exotic about what the plans for the channel are. So dumb. No, tune in. We are back. If you missed it, we are the boys. Me and Ski Mask live tomorrow at 1 p.m. We can talk about this. Live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Tune in. We haven't been together for I think over 3 weeks. We didn't do a show last week. The week before, I think we each did our individual shows. There's a lot going on, a lot we need to talk about. You know, I don't talk to people off the air. I save it all for the show. So if you're interested in that side of this, you're going to want to tune into Ski Mask Collective back again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Get there. Good, great, grand, wonderful. No, okay, great. Go join the Patreon, folks. Super chats are kind of gay. I'm with you. And they take 30%. So go join that page for $3. That's the best way to support us. And you actually get stuff out of it. Now, folks, you know what time it is. You hear it. Wow, right? Woo-hoo-hoo, love that whammy bar. Here it comes. Ready for it? Gets me every time. When you hear that music here at Sports Mask Collective, you know it's time for the picks for week 4 of the NFL football season, folks. It's a big week. I didn't make picks last week. Our Labor Day hiatus is over. We're back. If you tuned in late, you're going to want to rewind because I told great and deep truths for the last 45 minutes. But let's get to the spreads, folks. I went around the league to some important points already. We'll get to more as we go around here. Let's turn this down a touch because Courtney and Victor aren't here to tell me it's on. This evening, the Cowboys and the Giants from the Meadowlands, mind you. The Giants are getting 5 points at home. Listen, as much as I want to see the Cowboys lose and go to 1-3, and you guys know I love chaos, I just can't imagine. The chaos is well deserved if they somehow, because this isn't like they're playing some middling team like the Cardinals or Rams or a Colts, something like that. This is the Giants, who, along with the Pats and along with the Panthers, maybe one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Cowboys should win this game outright. I expect them to win by a large margin. Unfortunately, I want to watch an entertaining game, but I think the Cowboys, I've heard a lot of talk the last week. They want to get back to 500 at 2-2, stabilizes them. And the Commanders, and the Commanders are a good team, and I told you that before the season, before week 1. I told you I think the Commanders are going to be a force to be reckoned with Jaden Daniels there, and they certainly are. Stanton Saramas once again. So, yeah, I'll take the Cowboys minus the 5 this evening. Get there now, folks. This podcast sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings, hate your wife, don't want to get a real job, want to make excuses for the way you spend your money? DraftKings. Use promo code SMC and possibly get banned from the platform. Here we go. The Broncos at my Jets. I didn't even really touch on my Jets much. My Jets moved to 2-1, as they very well should, and they will be moving to 3-1 this Sunday. They're starting to gel. You saw them gel. I love a good gel. I'm so gelling, like Dr. Scholl's commercials used to say. And the Jets are going to be the Jet gelling, even minus a 7.5. I'll take it. Give me the Jets at home against the Bo Nix Suck My Dicks Broncos this Sunday. Absolutely the Jets. Give me the Jets minus 10 if you want to mark that one up, folks. Give me the Jets minus, but the official line right now is 7.5. If you want to make a couple more bucks there, I would take the minus 10 Jets at home against the despicable, frankly, Broncos. We got the Vikings, the surprise 3-0 Sam Darnold Vikings traveling to Green Bay and the loveless Packers. They are hinting that he might play. I don't think he will. The Packers are minus 3 at home. That means the Vikings are getting 3 on the road as a 3-0 team. I just can't turn that down. Give me the Vikings plus the 3 on the road. Maybe the Packers pull it out. I love the plus 3 for a 3-0 team. I can't turn that down, and I won't. Give me the fucking Vikings on the road, and give me a Viking funeral after this. It's maybe the best show I've ever fucking done. Maybe the best show anybody in the planet has ever done, frankly. Fun game coming up here, but you couldn't have picked out before the season. We got the Steelers playing well, going to Indianapolis to Anthony Richardson, also playing well. It's essentially a pick 'em. Colts 1.5 plus 1.5 at home. The question here is, do the Steelers carry the momentum, or if they're doing a one-off here? I like the Colts at home. That's a tough place to play. They have Indianapolis, Indiana. There's absolutely nothing to do. The people there are husks of what we know as humans. They just have no life whatsoever. So all they have to care about is football. So it's usually a pretty tough place to play because they're all Colts fans there. With that said, I love the Steelers and what they have been going on. They have a great defense there. Boy, this is a tough one for me. I always had a soft place in my heart for the Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers minus the 1.5 on the road. Let's see if they win this game. Then they got some. They'll start making some headlines with what they're doing there in Pittsburgh. And that very black head coach, we love him, Mike Tomlin. Unbelievable what's going on there. The 0-3 Cincinnati Bengals going to the who gives a fuck Carolina Panthers. Obviously, everybody's worried. Is Joe Burrow gay? He looks like Ellen DeGeneres, all the other hack bullshit. Listen, Jamar Chase is still a wide receiver. Joe Burrow is still a quarterback. What's the running back? Moss. He plays well. I think, it's unbelievable, the spread, frankly. Jump on this one, folks. This might be up there with I haven't looked at the rest of the spreads because I'm not a cuck. I have better things to do and just look at sports all day. I just live it. But the Bengals are only -4.5. This could be your lock of the week. Absolutely. I mean, the Panthers are totally lost. There is nothing of substance to that team. Bryce Young stinks. He's done. He's gone the way of Zach Wilson, probably. As I said before they drafted him, he probably can't play in this league, just like I did with Zach Wilson. Stancil Stradamus times 2. Unbelievable what I'm doing. I'm good at this. Anyway, absolutely give me the Bengals getting back on track, going to 1-3, -4.5 in Carolina. And let me tell you, the Bengals are a type of team, they can rattle off 6 wins in a row. So I'm not counting the Bengals out just yet. Joe Burrow is a beautiful boy, maybe my favorite boy. Really one of the most beautiful. I'm trying to think, is he the most beautiful boy? Justin Herbert's in the mix. But I think Joe Burrow is the most. Feel free to sound off who you think is the best looking male quarterback in the NFL in the chat. I think it has. I think Joe Burrow, I like his style. I like his little bit of wiggerness. I've always been attracted to Joe Burrow. Beautiful, beautiful boy. Justin Herbert's not my type. I'm more of a dark hair, dark skin type guy. Justin Herbert is a beautiful, very beautiful boy, but he's a bit of a West Coast look. I like a bit of grunge, a bit of dirt, a bit of stink on my boys. A stinky, stinky boy. That's what I like, and I like Sean. Oh, I love them. I do it for the love of the game. That's what separates me from all these other hacks in this area of podcast we've fallen into. That's why we're trying to transcend, get away from all these losers. We're our own thing as we've always been. You people just need to recognize it. So we're spreading our wings, getting away from all these snipe streamers and clip watching and Shuli and Kevin, all a bunch of losers. It's so old and hacked. We do it for the love of the game, and also would love a couple bucks. Get there on the Patreon, $3. It's unbelievable the numbers coming across my desk, actually. Usually, give it a look. That was Bengals -4.5 before I went on my tangent about having sex with men. The next game is Rams at Kelly P. is me's Chicago Bears. I talked to Kelly P. yesterday. She is going on some kind of hedonistic vacation next year. We wish her well. She consulted me on where to go in the Caribbean. Obviously, I'm a traveler as well as an athlete, so I'm a great person to get some information from. And I don't blame her for reaching out to me, quite frankly. Her and that big fat ass of hers I want to stick on my face. But not before I put on my face the Rams at Bears. Bears are -3 at home. They are loving Caleb Williams in Chicago, and I think they have a reason to love him, especially with only a -3, no hook, at least on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Give me the Bears at home, -3. The Rams do nothing for me, especially with the loss of Cooper Kupp. Bears -3, let's keep it moving. Love this game here, folks. Entertaining game, streaming illegally. May I recommend Stream East? Just Google it. You do the rest. Obviously, that's just a bit. Eagles at the Buccaneers at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Very sexy, sexy game here. The Eagles escaped by the skin of their uncircumcised penises last week. And the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, it seems like the last couple of years, everybody wants to discount the Bucs because of Baker Mayfield, and he's just not letting you do it. Same for Mike Evans. Mike Evans, when is Mike Evans going to get over the hill? Isn't he 45? Isn't he like 49? What is going on? But they keep doing it, and frankly, I like the way they play. And frankly, I used to hate Baker Mayfield. Similar, I thought he was a Johnny Manziel type, but I feel like he's gotten humbled in the second half of his career. I feel like he's become more of a team player, and I've actually come all the way around on Baker Mayfield. I like what he's doing in Tampa. And the Eagles have a lot to prove. This is a fun game. I mean, Saquon, again, Santos Stradamus. What did I tell you before the season started? I told you Saquon Barkley is going to have a career year. And weeks 1 and 3, he had a little bit of a slower week in week 2, but he is having an amazing, fits perfectly with that offense, the short throws, setting up his runs, and he's a killer on both sides of that. So shout out to me being right once again about Saquon Barkley having an unbelievable time there in Philly. And Jalen Hurts, people are saying, did Jalen Hurts peak? Did we already see the best of him? I don't have the answer there, but this is a good game to see where both teams are at. It's essentially another one of these pick'ems. The Buccaneers plus 1.5 at home. I want to pick the Bucs here with the points. However, I just have a feeling I think the Eagles get back on track here. They're due for a big game. They haven't put up a ton of points. I think it could happen here. But I like the Bucs too. So tough game to pick. Give me the Eagles minus the 1.5 on the road to shut some people's fab mouths there in that shithole that is Philly. What was once a sexy game has become a little lackluster. The Jags, the Trevor Lawrence's 0-3 and falling Jags going to C.J. Stroud's Houston Texans. Deep in the heart of Ski Mask, Texas there. The Texans are minus 6.5 at home. As I said, the Jags have the weapons still there. Trevor Lawrence is there. Kirk is there. Etienne is there. I do think the Jags win this one. Listen, wouldn't be surprised if they lose. I mean, this is sports. I got to be honest. I hate to whatever. But I'm taking with that many points, with the 6.5 on the road at 0-3 with a lot to prove. Give me the Jags on the road plus the 6.5. 6.5 may be needed to win that, to cover the game. Texans could win, but I'm taking the Jags plus the 6.5. This isn't as sexy, and frankly, I'm surprised by this. I guess people still haven't figured out the Falcons. There's nothing to the Falcons, but the Saints are in Atlanta Sunday. It's going to be a wacky and wild crowd. And the Falcons are giving 2.5 at home to the Saints, who have been absolutely rolling. I love the Saints here, plus the 2.5 on the road. I don't care about the road. Kamara hasn't lost a step. Kamara, I don't give a fuck. Kamara hasn't lost a step. Their receivers are doing it. I got Olave, and then they got that other young guy. I don't do my research because I'm not gay. But absolutely love the Saints here. The Falcons, everybody's been trying to suck their dick since before the season. They haven't shown me anything at all so far. So let's just take the Saints and move on. A real shithole game here. Patriots at the Niners. Niners minus 10.5 at home. Let's just take the Niners minus 10.5 and move on. Patriots fucking stink. Commanders on the road against the Cardinals. Commanders getting 3.5 on the road. Listen, I'm big on the Commanders. Sorry, the Redskins. Gibson, their running back, love it. Love their quarterback. Jaden Daniels, I said he should have been picked higher in this year's draft. I would have taken him over Caleb Williams myself for the same reasons I thought Bryce Young stinks. I like the Commanders here. I think the Commanders may well win that NFC East this year. Obviously, the Giants are done. The Eagles are still flailing. By the way, if the Eagles lose this week, you may see a change in the coaching staff this weekend with Sirianni there after what they pulled at the end of last season, and if they continue to lose. Maybe not this. If they lose lose the next 2 out of 3, goodbye, Siri. If I was the Eagles, I would certainly be getting rid of that head coach. Dumb wop can't cut it. You have the Cowboys, who might go to 1-3 tonight. I like the Commanders a lot. I think they're a fun young team, and some young guy come of some young guy on a fun young team. They're a very Asian thing to say. ADHD is obviously my diagnosis, as well as a bit of obsessive compulsive, according to Dr. Stein, my childhood psychiatrist. But that is besides the point, ladies and gentlemen. The point is the Cardinals and Kyler Murray has fetal alcohol syndrome. I tell you every week. He looks like his face was mashed in. His mother was obviously a drinker on drugs when he was in utero. And because of that, his head is a bit mashed down and his IQ is lower, as emphasized by that low hanging brow over the eyes. So absolutely give me the Washington Redskins plus the 3.5 on the road Sunday afternoon. National game, it's always a sexy game, and I love the colors. The Chiefs at the Chargers, you got the red and yellow is one of my favorite in all the sports, just like the Calgary Flames. And they're playing the light blue, the baby blue and yellow, another beautiful combination. That's where I won my All-American, obviously, was at University of New Haven. It was blue and yellow, no big deal at all. Sexy game on paper. I don't think it'll be as sexy on the field. The Chargers are getting 7 at home. And sorry, Gino, they're going to need all of those 7. And, I think the Chiefs are due for one of these weird losses. It's going to happen throughout the year. Kelsey is playing like shit. Listen, I hate to say it, and it's almost hack to say, but in case, a lot of people are low IQ out there. So in case you haven't been paying attention, Kelsey has played very lackluster this year. And I don't think it's a coincidence, all the bullshit he's been doing off the field. At some point, there's simply no way you can be at the top of your game when you're doing all that off the field and your focus is elsewhere. So I'm thinking this is the week the Chiefs... listen, I'm taking the Chargers plus the 7. This could be an upset straight out. I like, interconference game, interdivision game, I should say. Always a little tighter. And I just think, I just have a feeling in my gut that's covered by a six-pack that the Chargers get the upset here. Give me the Chargers plus the 7. If they don't win, I think they cover. I believe this is the other national game or option is the Browns at the Vegas Raiders. Raiders are -2 at home. I don't know what's going on with this line. Cleveland absolutely fucking sucks. I know the Raiders are nothing to write home about, but absolutely give me the Raiders -2 at home. Let's move on. All right. 3 games left to be picked, folks. We got another 2 games on Monday night, but we're into the Sunday night game, and this is Jim Stansel's Game of the Week. It's the Buffalo butt-fuck your brother Bills going down to Brian McCarthy's Baltimore to play the, my favorite bird, the Ravens. They're in the Corvid family, Ravens, Crows, all in the same family. It's called the Corvid, not to be confused with COVID, which is trying to make a comeback. And obviously, I've never been vaccinated because I'm not a sheep and I'm a free thinker. And lo and behold, by the way, a lot of people have gotten sick from COVID in the last couple of months. And I work with the public every day and night, and not a sniffle from me. It makes you wonder if that vaccine makes you more susceptible to other things. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying wonder because I'm on a screen. We all know the fucking truth. Wake the fuck up, you fucking hacks. Anywho, what was I saying? Oh, yes, the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. Love this game. Game of the week, game of the year so far. Can Lamar Jackson not finally, but can he finish out a game in a big spot? Are the Bills for real? The Ravens are giving 2.5 at home, almost a pick 'em. When it's less than a field goal, I consider it a pick 'em here. Yeah, I'm a little biased here. As I said before, this is the Bills' first real test this season. The Ravens have been tested. They should have won that Chiefs game if Lamar didn't choke on a wide open Flowers in the end zone, and then subsequently, if by an inch they didn't score that touchdown at the buzzer against the Chiefs. I like the Ravens here. I'm hoping it's a good game. I think it will be very entertaining. Two teams that will be in the playoffs. So preview probably. Paulie. Playoff. Say this. Playoff preview probably Paulie. Say that. Playoff preview probably Paulie. Anywho, go. That's a fun little thing to tell your kids about. Or maybe your dumb wife. Yeah, give me the Ravens at home. Minus a 2.5, less than a field goal. I expect a great game. I see a shootout. What's the over-under here? Yeah, 46. I'd take the over there. I think we're going to have some points being scored on Bullmore Hunt on Sunday night. 2 Monday night games, as I told you. The Tennessee Titans go down to the Miami Dolphins. Two teams going absolutely nowhere. This is a true pick'em. Dolphins giving one at home. I don't give a fuck at all about this game. I'm looking for something to flip to pick for me. That's here. I gotta shout out Twin Cleaning Service. I think. Anyway, I'm flipping this. Heads are the Dolphins, tails the Titans. This is a sports show. All right, Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins -1, and let's move on. And then the final game of the week, folks. What the fuck? Hold on. Everything got all messed up. Everything's all messed up now. Everything messed up. I lost my place. Everything is messed up. I need money. Help. Boy, do I make myself laugh more than anyone else could, especially all these other hack podcasts. The final game of the week is Monday night. It's going to be coming at you at 8:15, and we got the Courtney Brooks Seattle Seahawks going down to Detroit, the city that once was great, a beacon of American hope, has become a beacon of American failure as BlackRock buys up all the property there in Detroit. We got the Seahawks at the Lions late Monday night, last game of the week. Lions giving 3.5 at home. Interesting game here, actually, folks. The Lions, a lot of people are thinking of underachieved a bit. The Seahawks essentially doing what we thought they would do. If Kenny Walker plays and Metcalf is healthy, and although I don't like him, if Geno plays, I like the Seahawks plus the 3.5. Emphasis on Kenny Walker, who's questionable still. If Kenny Walker isn't on the field for the Seahawks, give me the Lions. I hate to be a flip-flopper, but I'm a man of my word, and boy, do I love words. So once again, Seahawks plus 3.5 if Walker plays. Give me the Lions minus 3.5 if he doesn't play. And ladies and gentlemen, those are the picks for Week 4 of the National Football League as described by Jim fucking Stansel. Many imitators, no duplicators, as all these hacks and losers try to suck up to Kevin and take his money. All the leeches, all the parasites that have been showing up on that show. Just pathetic. I tried to tune. I listened to the Barry Ribs the other day. That was at least entertaining. It's sad when Barry Ribs is the most talent Kevin has had on in a while, but that's besides the point. That's for tomorrow's show. At 1 o'clock, Ski Mask Collective has returned. A lot to cover. A lot of lies have been said, and the kings of the truth of podcasting are returned. Everyone is terrified because we tell the truth, because we don't just try to suck you people dry of money. So we don't just ball wash our listeners like all these other shows. We actually have the freedom to tell the truth here at Ski Mask Media. So you're going to want to tune in to Ski Mask Collective tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You've just watched and or listened to the greatest sports show currently going, frankly. If you watch live, thank you. If you watched or listen later, as most of our viewers and listeners do, thank you. Like I said, go join the Patreon. Best way to support us, patreon.com, Ski Mask Media. $3 a month. That's all. That's all. You only forget super chatting. God bless if you do. Forget all that. Just give us $3 a month in perpetuity, and we'll call it even. And not only that, we put shit up on the Patreon was about to fire. We took that end of summer hiatus, and we are back like a bitch in heat. Everyone, Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow at 1:00 at Ski Mask Collective. Enjoy the game tonight. Count all the troops and bring home the votes. Enjoy your night, everyone.